Okay. Hi, this is Iceblu333. Currently, it is March the 2nd, 2026. Okay, I said that, what can I make a video about today? Because I'm not going to talk about Iran. The focus of this channel is going to be mostly on the situation that's going on with Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. And basically my thoughts on the closing down of Jennifer Boozer's shop in Alabama. And yeah, and the legalization or the rescheduling of marijuana. And so I was trying to see what I could talk about today. And so let's see here. There's a man. I think his name is Chig Martin, and I think he's running to become, I think, the front runners in regards to the Democratic race in Alabama. And so I was like, that's that's interesting. I'm in the back of the woods back there. They target practice him at that, I guess. Anyway, but so I was trying to see, and basically it seems like he was one of the people that were affected by Andy Witt's bill HB 445, and so I believe his cannabis shop was shut down. But also not only that, um Chad Chig Martin, hopefully I got his name right. He's apparently also for getting 4 casinos inside of Alabama, and he said that people would only have to drive at the most 2 hours away from their home to be able to access those casinos. And so I'm like, that's interesting. I've done a lot of research into Tommy Tuberville, and there was a video saying that he wanted change, but when someone asked him a follow up question in regards to what does he plan on changing, he didn't have a he didn't have anything to say. So I'm like, okay. So it's pretty. So if you vote for if you call him Dummy, oh my god, if you vote for Tommy Tuberville, not Dummy Tuberville, basically you're not getting anything changed or whatever. And I do not want to vote Democrat at all, especially in lieu of all the astrologers going inside of the Clinton's chart and the history of the Democratic Party. However, I've said from the get go that my objective was to find a way to get Jennifer Boozer's shop, Cannabama, back open, because I was the last phone call that her shop received. And during that period of time, I was just going through a depressive situation, and then plus, someone just told me just to focus on her. I don't know why. It's just like maybe it's the universe. So I'm gonna try to get some information about Chad Chig Martin, and I'm gonna probably talk about that today in this video. I think there's some stuff that's going on with Iran or whatever, but I don't really care. I mean, condolences to anybody that was affected in Iran in regards to the strikes and the additional stuff that's going on, because I know a lot of stuff has happened. I think the Ayatollah was exterminated. So, but I'm like, I, anyway. So let me go in the house and see if I can get any more information about Chad Chig Martin. So let me pause here. But I do want to say that in regards to the Iranian strikes and etc., I am against war. So self defense, yes, but war, no. So let me pause for a second. I'm going to go back inside the house and try to see what information I can pull up on Chad Chig Martin. Pause. Okay, I'm back. Let me preface this video by saying that I have no I'm rambling right now because it's like, yeah. Anyway, so and I also another preface is that I lean more towards Trump. However, you could say that I'm more so independent, and I always support the underdog. That's just how I am. And so Chad Chig Martin to me seems to be the underdog in regards to Alabama. However, the circumstances are that his what I can only interpret as a goal. His goal is basically to, I guess, let me pause a second. Okay, his goal aligns with mine's. However, there's a terminal. There's a terminal. There's a term that I'm looking for. So give me one more second. Okay, so the term was natural medicine, and I think he pushes the point that in Alabama, its soil, it's fertile to grow marijuana inside of Alabama. In so many words. So anyway, I was trying to find a term. Anyway, so what and again, I lean more towards Trump, but I also lean towards the underdog. You can consider me an independent in regards to my political views. Anyway, hopefully I didn't butcher this whole section. It was like I can't edit these videos. I'm doing this on a Galaxy Note 10 Plus from 1990, from God knows when. Anyway, so how I guess you can say hemp helped me. Now, all the way back in 2017, my best friend committed suicide in front of me, basically, and then also I lost my job / career at the same time, and then I think also I broke up with my ex or whatever, out of just despair because so much stuff happened all at once, and so I didn't think that I was having like a major depressive episode, but I was, and so I went on all the way up until 2024, and so uh a relative they said you should try this or whatever, and I was like, I don't I don't do anything crazy, but it's I think since another relative had passed away, I was like, you know what, whatever, let me try it. And so for once in roughly about 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, for once in 8 years, I walked outside at the using this product or whatever, and it was raining, and I was like this. I haven't felt like this in a long time. And it's relative, they're like, what do you mean? It's raining. I'm like, no, I love the rain. By the way, I'll always pick a rainy day over a sunny day because it's just that there's people that they don't want to be inside of rain, and it's quiet. It's usually quiet as well. Anyway, I'm a loner or introvert. Anyway, so I'm like, so I was listening to the rain. I was like, you can actually hear like it was like a good feeling, you know. And so I guess he just said he was like, I guess this guy's I must be high. And so I didn't think about it. I was like this must be a good night or whatever. And so I didn't know that I was depressed. And so even if I knew that I was depressed, because I think I knew that I was depressed, but I was like, this is life. This is how you're supposed to feel. And even if you try to change it, that's just a lie. So that was my mindset. And I mean, I was watching some video saying that to change your let me pause a second. I'm gonna probably butcher this, but he said that before you can change your life, your mindset has to change. And so being depressed, you don't want to fix anything. You're like, this it's just stuck like this, and etc. And so so that was September 2020 sometime. That was I think 2 years later. That's when I actually bought an event happened. So I think my first experience with hemp or marijuana or whatever was all the way back in 2022. And then I think in 2024 another crazy event happened where a family issue had popped up. A truck got stolen, a purse got stolen, and I got blamed for it, even though it wasn't me. But anyway, and so I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna sell. I bought I bought the biggest vape that I could get. I'm like, okay, you know what, whatever. And so just like being, like not just depressed but angry. And I'm like, you know, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna become a drug then, whatever. And so I used this vape. And so next thing you know, like pretty much I'm like I started having good thoughts. I hadn't had good thoughts in God knows when. Like most of my thoughts are bad, or I'm always like worrying about something, or angry about something, and then like you're on the edge of just like snapping. And then so that with that vape, I'm like, what the world? I could sit I could sit down and my mind could be quiet. Maybe I think I was diagnosed with ADHD like a long time ago as a kid. However, I didn't want to take pills, and so after like the first prescription they gave me, I just pretend like I took it, and then like I took one, and then I just basically just I don't know, but I said no, I don't want that. And that was all back when I was like what 9, 10, probably like at the most like 10 or 12, 10, 11. Anyway, I didn't want to take pills. I don't know why I just didn't. And even when I was working at a job or whatever, I almost took a day off. I never take days off from work when I was working. But now my life is shitty. But anyway, just trying to do this and whatever. But so all the way back in 2000 and anyway when I 2012, it was before 2012 my grandfather died and I got fired. So from I worked there for 6 years. I worked even like I think I started working at age 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I worked there for like 6 to 7 years. And pretty much I never took a day off. And I even asked for more hours. So at one point, sometimes when I wasn't in college or school, I would ask for more hours so I can make more money to buy more stuff because I don't like being around people. Hate people. Always hated people. And so I valued money and trinkets more than people. That's how I am. Because I've always every time I try to let somebody get close to me, it's like they always burn me. But anyway, so my point was that there was one day where I had a migraine that was so terrible, so bad that I was finna go to the emergency room, but my aunt she said try good here's a goody powder. I was like I'm not gonna take that, and she's like this they're gonna give you something, they're gonna tell you to take some to the hospital anyway, so here's a goody powder, try this. And see, keep in mind I had already called into work and said I couldn't come in, and so took the goody powder, and no more than like 15 minutes later, migraine gone. I called back into work and went to work anyway. So I just did not like taking medicine or pills or anything like that. So flash forward back to 2024. I was already angry and depressed about a family event that happened. And so I said, I guess I'm gonna just become a druggie or something like that. So I used the vape or whatever. And instead of having bad thoughts, where I had good thoughts. And then that's when I started devising a way out of this depressive state that I've been in since 2017. And so here I am here now doing trying to do this YouTube stuff, whatever. And keep in mind, I was ever since 2000. Okay, so my friend committed suicide in 2017. Since 2018, because I started working at temp jobs in 2017 because my career was messed up. I tried to beat the lottery using astrology, and pretty much the best thing I could do in regards to getting any kind of money using astrology was getting unemployment after so much hell hell happened inside my life, and then plus COVID-19. Anyway, but the astrology shows that I was going to have career trouble, so it's like the astrology was right. It's just that, in my opinion, things are fated to happen, whether you like it or not. Things are fated. It cannot be changed. You can try to change it, but if it is able to be changed, it's just meant to be changed. It's fated. Anyway, so whatever's meant for you is meant for you, and what is not is not. You can see on a more positive note. But anyway, moving on. So I was trying to beat the lottery, and keep in mind, if I didn't have the outlet of trying to beat the lottery, only God knows what other outlets I would have chose in regards to trying to just handle this depression that I was feeling. So in the end, I needed the lottery to hold me over in regards to some kind of hope until I ran into the hemp situation or the marijuana situation. And then when I got to the marijuana situation, I'm like, okay, I'm going to. And see, throughout this entire time, I was learning astrology. And so I could have been trying to read people's charts and trying to make money from that. However, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try to beat the lottery. I want to be a one and done person and be like, I quit. I'm retired. So I focused on learning as much as I could in regards to astrology, and trying to be as accurate and see what produced results as much as possible. And so I learned several techniques or whatever, and I learned a lot about astrology. To the point where I could read a person's chart, but I don't want to do that because, like I said, things are fated and they cannot be changed. So it's like, you know what? What's going to happen is going to happen. I don't really care about your life. Sorry, not sorry. I don't want to get in your business. And if I am drawn to a person, it's you notice it's like a karmic situation, and it's just meant to happen. Like I was drawn to Jennifer Boozer, and then what even solidified that. And Jennifer Boozer, she was a cannabis shop owner, and she owned a shop called Canada Alabama. If I haven't said that already, and something just drew me to her, and pretty much what solidified the deal was it was one day I was like I ran into a video of somebody interviewing her, and like something said because I think the hemp bill HB 445 it had just went into effect. I believe it was on June the 2nd, and something told me just call this woman, call this woman. And I'm like, I'm not gonna call. I can't offer anything. I'm like, I can't offer anything. Someone said call this woman, and so I see I picked up the phone, looked at it, and the numbers on the phone said 222, and that's an angel number. I don't know what it means, but so I called the woman at 222 p.m. I believe on either June the 2nd or July the 2nd or around this date. But I know that it was the time was 222. And I think her representative picked up the phone and pretty much all I can do is hear this woman, ooh. All I can do is hear this woman crying in the background. She said there has to be something else we can do. I'm a fighter. She was just talking to this person, and this clerk or whatever, he he said that what she's having a very very important phone call right now. And so I'm sorry. And this isn't fake. I can't. I yeah. Let me pause because people think that you're faking, and it's like sometimes people's voices they hit you so hard. Let me pause. Okay, hopefully that that cleared it up. But sometimes people's voices they hit you so hard that I mean her voice is cracking, and she's like, we have to do something. I don't give up. I'm not a quitter. And it's just the thing she was saying. And so I was like, I have to do something to try to help this woman. I don't know what, but right at that point in time, I'm nothing. I mean, I am Iceblu333 of Astrologer, but I mean, what I mean, what is a insane person going to do that claims to be an astrologer? Who, although I did predict the results of the 2024 election, and after the fact, I did predict Charlie Kirk's death. Look, you can go through my tweets and you can see that well, you can go to my YouTube channel, and on August 23rd, 2025, I made a video saying that Trump Jr. should watch his circle because the astrologer showed that somebody inside the circle could pass away. I don't think it was going to be Donald Trump, but it was going to be somebody. It was going to be like his partner, his wife, a business partner, etc. And that was on August 23rd. And then so on I think August 22nd, August 27th, 2025, I made another video titled Donald Trump Jr. should watch his circle. And then I think I made another video days later on August 2nd, Donald Trump Jr. should watch his circle. And then I made several other posts on Twitter and True Social and Astrologer. But I think on September the 10th, 2025, I made a post in regards to the situation in regards to whoever was inside of Donald Trump's Jr. circle that could die. I said the daddy that you think is gonna die isn't the daddy that you think is gonna die, and this is like 3 or 4 hours before Charlie Kirk's death. So let me get the tweet real quick, and I'll be right back. Let me pause. Okay, so I'm trying to do this live. So this is my Twitter account. I did make this post on True Social as well too, but I want to try to show this on I want to show it on both. So this is my Twitter account. And so let's see here. Try to do this live. So it's typed. I'm searching right here. DADDY. Search. Hopefully it'll pop up. And so this is September the 10th. I made 3 posts. This is one. This is oh, that's the top. Okay, cool. So this is one, but it's gonna show all of them in a second, I think. But it reads, this song came out on May 3rd, 2019, and has zero relations with the current events, right? But the daddy / king that some of these people think may pass / fall in some shape, form, or fashion just might be one that they didn't expect. And I posted this. It's on September 10th, 2025, but the time of it. So I clicked it, scrolling up. It was at 8:08 a.m. Charlie Kirk was assassinated at 12:23 p.m. So now I did make another post, and I said, it's not showing a video. I said this song's chorus is stuck in my head, and it was posted at 1:54 a.m. This is hours before Charlie Kirk's assassination. Charlie Kirk again was assassinated at 12:23 p.m. and these posts were made at before he was assassinated. And this is done using astrology. Let's see here. There's one. Here's his last post right here. Oops. So this is the last post I made, I think, in regards to this. Well, I made another post. It was anyway. Let me just show this real quick. Let me read it real quick. Oh, now it's gonna show the video. I said this song's chorus is stuck in my head. I wonder why? Question mark, question mark, question mark. And the song it's by Iggy Azalea, and it's called "Started," and it goes like, "I started from the bottom and now I'm rich." But what's more important side of the song is that there's this cut scene where the character that Iggy Azalea is playing, she ends up poisoning this rich man and killing him, and I think she calls him daddy, and so she killed him. He dies, and so she takes his money or whatever. Anyway, and so but I was saying that because there were astrologers thinking that Donald Trump could be assassinated around this time because there was an eclipse on around this period of time of September. The eclipse was on September the 7th, 2025, and September the 21st, 2025. And so I think Charlie Kirk was assassinated on September 10th, 2025, and his funeral was on September the 21st, 2025. Anyway. So I did make another post at 1:54 a.m. And I mean, let me show this because I can't find that other post I made. But this was probably enough to show some of my skills in regards to astrology. Ooh. And this is posted at 8:19. Anyway, so how I posted that post was some fact of the matter is that I knew that I was going to say something very, very important on that day because transit Mars conjoined my ascendant and transit Moon opposed my ascendant. And my ascendant is conjunct the fixed star Spica. But not only that, the weird thing about it is that Charlie Kirk's natal sun is conjunct the fixed star Spica. So when Mars conjoined his sun, that's what killed him. But not only that, transit sun in the sky conjoined K2 inside the sky, I believe, and that meant like a loss for the king. Anyway, so that's some of the astrology. I also made another post at 1:54 a.m. of a GIF of a penguin turned into a rocket and attacking the man and exploding on him. But I couldn't find that post that I made. But I did. Let me pause a second. Okay, so I'm trying to do this live again. So I'm still here like daddy. I had to type in daddy to get that. But okay, so this is, you can look this up for yourself. You can go to my Twitter account. It's this anyway. Let me just. I've already shown that. So I'm gonna type in here penguin. If you can see that, PENG. Okay, and then search. And so, like I said, the earlier tweet doesn't exist anymore. But so at 8:26 a.m. on September 9th, 2025, I said, "Where's the GIF with the Pokemon Penguin using his ultimate attack, Rocket Penguin?" And so I'll get to that post in a second. Well, I'm gonna give the exact date. So it's at the bottom down there. So let's see here. And so I'm gonna post this too. Well, here it is right here. Well, okay. So this is the GIF right here. There's a penguin attacking the man and turn into a rocket and explode on him. And I made this post on September 11th, 2025. And this is after Charlie Kirk's assassination. So I said Rocket Penguin was super effective apparently. I didn't think that things would line up like this, but the astrology was there. To make things even crazier, Pam Bundy and RFK Jr. seemingly backed the banning of the vapes right before Charlie Kirk's death. Maybe the jets they were flying over their heads and they couldn't speak was an omen. See, on the same day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Pam Bundy and RFK Jr. they were raiding these shops, and they took roughly about I think $13 million worth of vapes, and stuff from these shops that invested inside Donald Trump's 2018 Farm Bill, mind you. And so, come to find out, is that at the time I think Charlie Kirk's net worth was around $13 million. So it's like, can't make it up, even if I try. So that's one thing. I think I need to find the other because there's another post I made in regards to this. I think I'll type in. So now I'll type it. I'll do this live. So I think that the other the string of text you can put inside of this account is CABBY. That's name of the account that posted the GIF first. Because I was looking for this tweet. I've already shown this one, but they said here's the original unedited version. And I made this post at 8:28 a.m. on the 9th of September. Anyway, so my point was I did predict on Charlie Kirk's assassination or whatever, and it basically was it kind of was in relation to my whole entire point of the entire point of creating this account was to focus on the Clintons. However, predicting Charlie Kirk's death was a byproduct of it, and also trying to help out Jennifer Boozer and her shop Alabama was a byproduct of it too. Anyway, and seeing that Chad Chig Martin, he seems to lean more toward. He seems to have he seems to fit every criteria in regards to what I want in regards to Alabama, and it seems like Donald Trump and Pam Bundy they're slow rolling in regards to. I think Donald Trump was trying to re-regulate marijuana, but I don't think Pam Bundy signed off on it as of now, which is March the 2nd, 2026. But I may be wrong. I haven't been looking too much into it because I'm like, I want results like now. Anyway, I had a point I was going to make, a separate point. So, yeah, Chad Chig Martin, the only thing that terrifies me in regards to him is that his possible dislike of Donald Trump. I haven't seen too many videos in regards to him, his true feelings in regards to Donald Trump. He makes some allusions to his feelings to Donald Trump. However, he also says that he needs Republicans, Democrats, and liberals and independents to even be even a forethought for anyone. And so the thing about it is I support a lot, not all, and a lot is a stretch of the things that Donald Trump is doing. Like the reason why, the better way to say that is the reason why I voted for Donald Trump. The reason why I voted for Donald Trump is one, the main thing was the LGBTQ agenda in regards to children. I have no problems with anybody in regards to how they want to live. Don't fuck with the children. That's all. and there's a conversation right there in regards to that. The other thing is the censorship, the online censorship. Everybody was getting censored. It's seemingly after Hillary Clinton, she had some kind of reportedly, she had on this purple dress at this meeting that she had somewhere, and she mentioned something about fake news, and it has real life consequences or whatever. That was right after she lost the 2016 election. Let me get the exact location that this speech was held. So let me pause. Okay, I think it's the video right here. And I think that she mentioned some stuff about fake news or whatever. And right after she said something about fake news, it's like that's when the censorship began. But maybe I'm wrong. So I'll just say my opinion. Let me read the lore in regards to this. Hillary Clinton full speech at Harry Reid portrait unveiling. Clinton is on Capitol Hill for a portrait unveiling in honor of retiring Senate Minority Leader Harry Reid. She says fake news and malicious false propaganda can have real impacts and threaten lives. And she is calling on officials in the public and private sectors to take steps to combat them. Can't talk right today. Anyway, so it's like after this speech, it's like that's when the online censorship began. Anyway, in my opinion, point. I'm just going down the list of the reasons why I voted for Donald Trump and my concerns about Chig Martin. Let me pause a second to just get my thoughts back together. So I do have major concerns about his thoughts on gun control and red flag laws. I don't think that we already have enough gun laws in regards to in regards to the nation. Like, what would he do if there's another mass shooting like the one that happened inside of Las Vegas? I think 50 people were killed or whatever. Even though it's not the gun that kills people, it's the person behind the trigger. Anyway, so I do want to know his views on that. I really want to know his views on his thoughts on the LGBTQ agenda in regards to children inside of schools. And because I think all the way back when on Astro Seek, I was going back and forth with this 70-year-old woman, and she was saying that I think she was saying, if I remember correctly, that there is a such thing as transgender children, and that, you know what, I'm not going to play that. Yes, there are some effeminate, I can't probably get my words right, girls and boys, but trans to mutilate a child's genitalia. I mean, think about it like this. My argument was in regards to this 70-something year old woman. Pretty much, there are some kids that claim to be Superman. Are you gonna let them go on top of the roof and try to fly off the roof? They're Superman. They believe they're Superman. Anyway, and then so there's another argument. I probably shouldn't say this, but it's up. There's this woman. She says she wanted to be blind, and she made herself blind. So if a child came to you and said, "I want to be blind," does that make the anyway? And I'm thinking about the late great Mary Magdalene. She was an influencer, and she recently committed suicide on I think December the 23rd, 2025. And that was a sweet. This girl she was a sweet girl. And but I think I don't know what was going on with her, but she had so many surgeries and stuff like that, and so much stuff done to her body, and she ended up committing suicide, seemingly, reportedly. Let me get the exact date. Let me pause. So yeah, Denise Ivane Jarvis Gongora, a Mexican-Canadian influencer who went by the name Mary Magdalene. She died on December 9th at age 33. 33. I'm not going to do anything. Yeah. The content creator fell from the ninth floor of a high-rise apartment in Patong, a beach town in Phuket, Thailand. Look. I cannot talk right now. I cannot talk right now. The police told local news outlets. Gongora, or Mary Magdalene, had over 400,000 followers across multiple Instagram accounts and shared a hunting final. This phone is. Let me pause it. So she shared a hunting final post the day before her death. So I think she changed her the name of her Instagram account to Mary Magdalene Died, and also she posted a scene from a movie called The Truman Show. And where he says, where Jim Carrey says, in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And this is before he leaves out of this. You have to watch the movie. The only reason why I watched that movie, because I never had seen it before, was because of Mary Magdalene's death. Anyway. So this influencer, I'm not going to show a picture of her, and I'm not going to, but she's had so much stuff done to her body that it was just, yeah, it was, and this is a sweet girl. She was a sweet girl. My heart breaks for her and her family. But anyway, so, and this is at age 33. So imagine for a child who cannot smoke, who cannot drink legally, who cannot drive a car, who probably probably hasn't even read a book, yet alone 3 in their entire life, and you're trying to mutilate their genitalia. Anyway, so I want to know what Chig Martin's stance is on the LGBT agenda in regards to children and the indoctrination of children inside school. This is the reason why I voted for Donald Trump. Okay, because this is what the Democrats seemingly pushed. If you look back at history in California and other Democratic states. Anyway, I'm just thinking about this girl who said she wanted to be blind, and she just Google it. Just go on YouTube and you'll find it. She wanted to be blind, so she blinded herself. And again, a child can always say, "Oh, I'm Superman. I can fly." Do some R. Kelly stuff. I believe I can fly and hit the pavement. Anyway, so that's another thing. I'm missing something else. Let me pause a second. That's what it was. Pretty much, if Chig Martin establishes those 4 casinos or whatever, like, what is he going to do about crime? That's my question. Because when you have casinos, criminal activity is tied to situations like that. And if not that, you're going to just have people drinking more, and drinking does lead to fights and stuff like that. So are you gonna use some of that money? Because I heard that Chig Martin was gonna get the money and put the money towards educational funds and mental health funds or whatever. But it's there are some people that you just cannot. They're just stupid. Okay. Just put it blunt and simply. You can say it for black people, and you can say it for white people. People do crazy stuff sometimes. Anyway, so what are you gonna do about security and the possible increase in violence? I'm not gonna be going to these casinos or whatever. What I really want is to get Mega Millions and the Powerball inside of Alabama, so I won't have to drive all to Georgia to buy a ticket. But I don't play Mega Millions anymore because they increased the price of the tickets to $5. So I'm like, you know what? even if Mega Millions was here, I'm not gonna waste $5 on a ticket. I don't care if they double the Jeopardy or double the prize. Do I look like I might sound like I have $5 to spare? I don't. Anyway, so let's just get the Powerball to Alabama until Mega Millions changes its ticket prices back to affordable. Anyway, what else? Because what I want to do, I want a day in the life of me. If my life was just stable, if my career situation was stable, and I had some money out of the bank, honestly, I want to be able to go to a store, buy me a vape, buy me a can of beer, and maybe some kind of edible. I don't know. I tried the edibles before. They don't work on me. I tried anyway. Nothing to tell you my situation, but I tried a lot of edibles and nothing happened. Anyway, so the vape, a beer, maybe some edibles or whatever, and buy me a pizza, buy my lottery ticket, take my ass home, cook my food to the point where if I need to reheat it, I put it inside the microwave so I won't burn the damn house down. And like put me a movie on or turn on YouTube and chill, and not and not have to worry about a police officer doing anything crazy or having to worry about interacting with anybody else. I don't want to be fucked with on a personal level. So you're not gonna see me at these casinos and etc. But there are people that thrive in those environments. And so and that's how people go there and date. They go there and meet people. So it's like, yeah, because otherwise people are gonna go out of state and whatever. Anyway, so what else? Let me pause a second. Okay, and I'm also alluding to the fact of I'm gonna say Danny Williams Clinton. Oh my God, I'm still stuck on Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and their astrologers going on. They're going through the same astrologers as the Monica Lewinsky scandal, and I'm looking at this black man whose name is Danny Williams Clinton, who claims to be Bill Clinton's biological son, and the astrology points to the fact that he is Bill Clinton's biological son. But anyway, so I was supposed to be talking about Jabari Peoples. He's a black man that was killed right before the effects of the bill HB 445 went into effect. Let me get the lore for that real quick. So let me pause a second. And I'm bringing him up because, like I said earlier, me personally, I'm not gonna be inside the vicinity of a casino and all this other stuff. I want to go to a store, buy my lottery ticket, buy me a pizza, buy my vape, buy me a beer, 2 or 3, and maybe some kind of edible or whatever. Bring my ass home, and or just buy some food too, but some food in general, whatever. Bring my ass home, put in me a movie or turn on some music, and chill with a dog. That is a and then go to work after the weekend. I mean, anyway. Oh, but also be able to conceal carry my pistol. Thinking about the restrictions in regards to when you buy a gun, you have to say whether you have, I think, been in prison for the use of marijuana, or if you have used marijuana within a certain period of time, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, look, I'm not trying to sit up and sign my life away in regards to that, or lie to the feds. So get that situation straightened out too. But I want to be able to carry my pistol just in case somebody does something stupid. Because people are stupid these days. Or if I go to the casino, conceal carry my stuff. Anyway, because people are crazy these days. So I'm thinking about that too. But back to Jabari Peoples. Let me get the lore on that. And the reason why I think I was mentioning Jabari Peoples was because that he was killed in a park because of police officer. And keep in mind that at the time, hemp or THCA was legal at the time, and so the police officers' reasoning for the word's not investigating. The reason for messing up this boy's night and leading to his death was for the fact that the police officer claimed that he had smelled marijuana. And see, THCA, hemp, and etc. smells like marijuana. Anyway, regardless, it was legal at the time of Jabari Peoples' death. Okay. So let me pause to get the full lore. Before I was trying to give that epilogue before I forgot about it, and I something happened and I forgot about it. So let me pause. Okay, I paused for a minute, but I'm just thinking about my situation. Like all I want to do is be able to go to the store, buy my shit, and get back home with my pistol, because I'm like, look, people are crazy, and I'm looking at this Jabari Peoples situation. So Jabari Peoples was a teenager. He was killed on June the 23rd, 2025, and pretty much The police department, they refused to release the body cam footage or whatever for a long time. And so let's see here. Now, the Alabama House Bill HB 445 went into effect on July 1st, 2025. Jabari People was killed on June the 23rd, 2025, and pretty much the reasoning that the police officer allegedly or reportedly used in regards to stopping Jabari Peoples, or I think he was seated at a park, was that he smelled marijuana. Keep in mind, hemp, THCA, and these vapes, they smell like marijuana. And so he basically, the police officer had no merit in regards to messing with this boy. Now, in regards to the body cam footage not being fully released, now Kay Ivey, keep in mind, Kay Ivey signed Andy Witt's bill HB 445. I believe inside of May. So that's one thing. But however, she also signed this bill in regards to severely restricting the access to police body cam footage, and she signed that. It went into effect on October 1st, 2024. And so that's the police department's reasoning in regards to not allowing the family to see the full unedited video of Jabari Peoples' killing. So this is Kay Ivey fucking up twice. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying. All I want to do is be able to go buy my shit instead of having to buy it off the streets and worry about being poisoned by fentanyl, which white people have to worry about and black people have to worry about. Bring my ass home and be let the fuck alone. Give me some food and watch me a movie and be done. And yet, in this boy, he probably had the same mentality. And yet he's dead. Jabari Peoples. It's so funny. You can easily make a whole entire political party in regards to called the People's Party using this boy's last name, this black boy's last name. Just saying. So, yeah. But so the perpetrators, in my opinion, is Kay Ivey. No. First of all, Andy Witt of Alabama, who wrote the bill HB 445. Kay Ivey, who signed both bills, HB 445 and the other bill that stops, that restricts access to police officers' body cam footage. It's called Act 2023-507, and it severely restricts access to police body cam footage. Why do you need that inside Alabama? I think there was a football player that was killed by a police officer inside in the same area that Jabari Peoples was killed at. Let me pause a second. Okay, so just like Jabari Peoples was killed via, they say, a traffic stop, but I think that it was reported that he was sitting inside of a park, and the police officer claimed to have smelled marijuana. So I don't know, but I'm just gonna say Google is saying that it was a traffic stop. Let's see here. So the event for Jabari Peoples happened on June 23rd, 2025. However, Andy Witt's bill, HB 445, it wasn't supposed to go into effect until July 1st, 2025. So even if the boy had any kind of products, he probably had recently just purchased a vape or some flower from a vape shop. And keep in mind that these vape shops were getting raided on the same day. So on the same day of June 23rd, 2025, ALEA, or the Alabama Law Enforcement Division or whatever, they were raiding these hemp shops before HB 445 went into effect. And on the same day, they killed Jabari Peoples. Clock that. Like I said, you can easily make a party called the Party of the People, or the People's Party, easily, with that alone. So moving on to the other person who was killed, apparently at a traffic stop, or he was arrested at a traffic stop. Anyway, his name is Glenn Foster Jr. He died in December 2021 following an arrest in Pickens County, Alabama. Let me see where Jabari Peoples was killed at? Because I think they said he passed away at the same place. Let me pause. Okay, so Jabari Peoples was killed in Jefferson County, Alabama. And the incident occurred on June 23rd, 2025, near the 1000 block of South Lakeshore Drive in Homewood. Jefferson County District Attorney Danny Carr later deemed it whatever. So it's Homeland, right? Homewood. So on December the 3rd, 2021, let me see here. Let me go about the full lore. I'm doing this. I'm still recording, yeah. So former New Orleans Saints defensive lineman Glenn Foster Jr. died in December 2021 following an arrest in Pickens County, Alabama, leading his family to file a lawsuit in 2023 alleging he was tortured and beaten by police while in custody. Foster, 31, died after a traffic stop with allegations of excessive force despite a previous autopsy claiming natural causes. Now, Foster was arrested on December 3rd, 2021 after a high-speed chase in Reform, Alabama, and was later found dead in the backseat of a police SUV. A 2023 federal lawsuit filed by his family accused the sheriff deputies of repeatedly tasing, striking, and choking him. Before his death, a judge deemed Foster, who had bipolar disorder, not mentally stable and a danger to himself and others, ordering him held for mental evaluation. While a 2022 autopsy indicated natural causes related to hypertensive cardiovascular disease, the family's lawsuit and allegations of abuse have continued to raise questions. Foster played for the Saints in 2013 and 2014. That's interesting that this 2023, there's a lawsuit filed in 2023. And there's this bill called Act 2023-507 that was signed by Kay Ivey that severely restricts access to police body camera footage, classifying it as not a public record and therefore not automatically available to the media or public. Access is restricted to authorized individuals, such as family representatives of the subject, via written request, and release can be denied by law enforcement. So they control everything. The law enforcement control everything. Anyway, let's see here. When did she sign that bill? Keep in mind, I'm not saying that any of these people are innocent. I'm just saying consider it in regards to what you could do to combat these deaths. Let's see here. Signed when? So, Alabama Act 2023-507 was signed into law on June 2023. Law enforcement must promptly disclose the portion of the recording relevant to the request or notify the requester that the agency declined to release it. That's interesting. I'm just thinking. I'm looking at Glenn Foster Jr. and this is after this. It seems like it was signed after the around the time of the federal lawsuit that was filed by Glenn Foster Jr.'s family. Anyway, so there's more stuff that I want that I need to that I do have questions for Chig Martin and how he would combat those situations as governor. So, and those are very important questions. I mean, everybody else they're asking him, like, I'm not gonna say softball questions or whatever, but I'm like, what? Let's get to the nitty gritty, because I think Chig Martin, he claimed that he was gonna try to reform prisons or whatever. Yeah. And so my question is, I do have another question in regards to this. Like, pretty much, are you gonna being that you're gonna have more have have 4 casinos here? Like, are you gonna have bigger jail cells because it might produce more crime, or how do you plan on combating that? So that's something. That's something I'm really interested in. Anyway, I'm trying to see what else is there. Let me pause. Another thing, as governor, there are right now there are some states, some Republican states, that are blocking people who have food stamps from buying I guess candy and sodas and stuff like that. I want to know what Chad Chig Martin's thoughts are on that, because in my opinion, I mean, it's literally taking candy from babies if you think about it. So I would think a better a more not better, a more productive alternative is to actually make candy healthier. Like have Coca Cola use cane sugar instead of corns high fructose corn syrup. Get rid of red 40 out of these candies and use something else. I mean, do what Japan is doing. Do what Europe is doing. Like what anyway. Like, because a lot of foods that we eat in America is banned inside of Europe and Asia and etc. Because they know that those foods have carcinogens in them. Anyway, so I'm just trying to figure out, like, you're a lot of heads of the Republican Party, like RFK Jr. Well, I'm not gonna put words out of his mouth. A lot. I'm gonna just say a lot of them. I'm not gonna say give specific names because I'm like, there are so many and I just can't. So they're saying that pretty much, America has an obesity problem and you're buying diabetes inside of a can and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Even if you restrict high fructose corn syrup and all these other things inside of from being accessed via your food stamps card or whatever, the problem is still there. And also on a medical level, or a medical point, sorry, there are some diabetics that need access to candy, and they use their food stamps cards to be able to buy candy and etc. Because to manage their diabetes, sometimes their sugar might get too low or too high or etc. But too low, and they might need to buy some candy. And because of these restrictions in regards to food stamps or whatever, they can't. Anyway, that's just something to think about. I want to know. So would Chad Chig Martin, would he go along with Donald Trump's and with these Republicans in regards to basically their ideology in regards to virtually taking candy from babies? that's the only way to say it. Like, anyway, and diabetics. Because, like I said, the smarter way to handle, there are smarter ways. Let's say it like that. There are smarter ways to handle the situation instead of just outright removing it from, like, people don't want to be bothered. People don't want to be bothered with stupid stuff like, oh, you they want to buy their hemp products or whatever that help alleviate pain, help with weight loss, help with depression. I mean, heck, I think Kay Ivey, she signed a bill in regards to something in regards to age restrictions on porn websites or whatever. And I have a relative. I he's like, this bitch. It's the reason why I can't watch my pornos. And this is the reason why I don't know if it was banned before or after 2024, but he was like, this bitch. It was the reason why I can't watch a porno. He voted for Kamala Harris, and he was mad at me when I voted for Donald Trump. But I was like, because I don't really watch porn like that. I mean, it's not important. Like I say, I'm not gonna confirm or deny that I do it or not. But it's not at an excessive level, and more so it's like, you know what? Because I'm tired of these holier than thou people. They're always putting stuff on the children, like, oh my god, we're trying to protect the children in regards to the vapes and the flavored vapes. So on one hand they'll say, oh, we don't want to legalize marijuana because our cities would reek of marijuana, the smell of marijuana. And then when you say, okay, we'll have odorless vapes or vapes that smell like cherries and blueberries and watermelons and whatever. Oh my God, no! You're advertising to the children. Oh my God! Pick up. Anyway, people are tired of being bothered with stupid stuff. I'm like, so you don't want nobody to watch porn. You don't want nobody to enjoy their vape or whatever. You want them to have one specific flavor like peach or whatever, or grape or something whatever. And you also want to use the excuse of children, or these vapes will come from China, so we don't want to sell them here because only God knows what they're putting inside them. Which it is true, but what is the alternative? Everything else comes from China. Our plates and pots and pans comes from China. This phone was probably assembled in China. Anyway, I was trying to get to a point. And so apparently Andy Witt, apparently it's reported that Andy Witt said something about that HB445 was opening the line of questioning in regards to hemp and marijuana in that situation or whatever. And so it basically banned hemp. So how does that open a conversation in regards to that? But anyway, I mean this is probably why I'm going to end up probably voting for Chig Martin if he is the front runner in regards to the Democratic Party. Now I'm not saying I'm going to vote a straight ticket for Democrats, because there needs to be some guardrails in regards to Chig Martin, because I think there was a video saying that where Chig Martin, he claimed that he would allow mail-in voting, and I'm like, look, I mean I do want when you start fucking with our gun rights in regards to Alabama, that's one thing. But when you start fucking with the voting booth or whatever, like we've already seen what happens with Pennsylvania, Georgia. So I'm like yeah. So, but I will say that Chig Martin, he does seem to be honest, if that makes any sense. Just like Donald Trump. I'm not gonna say that he's honest and perfect and all this other stuff or whatever, but I'll believe Donald Trump. Let me take that back. I would trust Donald Trump more than I would trust a lot of these other Democrats. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, because I'd rather see a wolf coming than a mountain lion behind in my back, or a dagger in my back from somebody who you thought was cute and cuddly. Anyway, these are political points, right? And I'm still stuck on the LGBTQ, what really the trans situation that's going on, because I am talking about stuff. What in regards to the vapes, they're saying that these vapes come from China, and they may be full of stuff that we don't know about and all this stuff. But medicines come from China too. They're produced, I think, in China as well. So I'm thinking about what like the trans ideology and in regards to one, children, but also themselves. So what are they going to do if there's a hiccup in the World Trade Organization, and pretty much these trans people cannot get their medicines? So what are they going to do in regards to testosterone and whatever? And I'm more so thinking about the children. You're pumping these children full of all these drugs or whatever. They need these drugs to maintain whatever situation that's going on with them. And we go to war with China. What you gonna do then? What you gonna? You fine. You grew up healthy and you grew up inside of a Christian situation and all this stuff. And you had people protecting you, but you're not protecting the kids. So what are these kids gonna do when they're bleeding out down there and there's no medicines to stop it? Because most of the medicines come from China. I'm probably mixing up things, but yeah. I'm just going through notes now. I'm sorry. Also, in regards to the, legal, the legalization of marijuana, or a focus being put on the marijuana. Now, marijuana does cause dry mouth, and that does lead to tooth loss, or cotton mouth and tooth loss, or decaying teeth. So I'm curious about what um Chad Chick Martin may come up with in regards to some kind of medical situation that could help out with that. So that'll be interesting. Water talking melon voting, that'll be a problem. I just want to be able to buy my beverages. I want to be able to buy my vape, flowers, and Delta beverage, my beer, my pizza, my chips, my hot wings, and etc. And go home and enjoy and my lottery ticket, and go home in peace and not be bothered with no damn body. That's what I was supposed to be talking about. But let me double check to make sure that everything else is talked about. Mm-mm. Sorry for the wait. Just give me one more second. Okay, so we're here. Okay, good. So let me pause for a second. So in another video, Chad Chick Martin, he said that he wanted to focus on trade jobs because they tend to pretty much produce better results. In so many words, I'm paraphrasing, but being that we're inside of the AI apocalypse, um, what what do you think is on it? How do you combat that? Because I think he did say he wanted to bring like a lot of high end tech jobs to Alabama, but what anyway. I want additional information about that. Let's see here. Robotics, because we looking at the astrology, we need to be we as a country need to be focusing on robotics, not just AI. Let's see here. I keep on going back to the fact that so I want to end it right here. So me personally, I want to be able to buy my vapes, my flour, my beer or whatever, liquor, whatever, me a pizza, um, hot wings, chips, all those stuff, soda, and bring my ass home with my lottery ticket that I don't have to go to all the way to Georgia for, and then also be able to carry my got a fly inside there, but also be able to carry my 15 or 20 round pistol in my concealed because I'm not trying to scare nobody because people yeah, and get to the store and get back and be let the hell alone. That's all. And then and if I want to watch my porn, let me watch my damn porn and not have to be what was it, age restricted or whatever, because people are gonna do what they're gonna do. If they're gonna do what they're gonna do. So to anyway, I should try to let me go to that website real quick to see what the lore was about that. Trying to go on one of these porn sites or whatever, because they put a wall up that said that because of your legislator, you can't see this porno. Please pause a second. Okay, so I'm gonna read what this website is saying or whatever, and I'm done. I mean, I know I'm not the only one that's like I don't really watch porn like that for because I mean I got anyway. Anyway, and it's really nobody's business in regards to what somebody you can say that. Oh my God, porn is destroying our youth and etc. 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 These false sexual harassment claims is destroying our youth too. Let's go there. So pretty much you have men that's been accused of this and that, and having their careers destroyed, and there's no way to combat that. And so there's the MGTOW movement where men are just like we're not gonna be bothered. And then so there's some men that they're waiting for robots to come out, and their only alternative besides to these women being so super sensitive to any kind of possible relationship situation or whatever, or if there's a saying that if you're a male and you're attractive, it's called flirting. But if you're ugly as shit, it's called harassment. Or if you're a broke male, it's considered harassment. But if you're rich, it's flirting. No, no. If it, if you're rich, it's probably harassment too because that's an opportunity. So it's like leave people want to do what the fuck alone. Let them watch their damn porn. And if a when I was a kid, whatever, if I want to watch a porn, I'm going to watch no matter what you do, say or whatever. I'm going to find a way to get to what I want to get to. Whether you want to yeah whatever, stop me or not. Anyway, so this porno site or whatever. So I try to go to it. It says access denied for visitors from Alabama. Dear Alabama visitor, your state has recently passed a law, Alabama HB 164. And let me repeat. Alabama HB 164, which requires adult websites to verify your age before granting access to the website. The law in question imposes impractical and unjustified requirements on adult websites, along with criminal liability for non-compliance. So I guess they're trying to protect themselves too. We strongly believe that a simpler and more effective solution would be to enforce age verification at the device level rather than the website level. This ensures that children are protected from accessing any inappropriate materials while also respecting adults' rights to privacy and for them to do what the fuck they want to do and not be bothered by the government. Anyway, until a viable solution is implemented by your state, we have been forced to make a difficult decision to disable access to our website in Alabama. You can demand device-based verification solutions that make the internet safer while respecting your privacy through this link, which I'm not going to click. I don't really care. But all I'm saying is people want to be like, the fuck alone. They want to buy that shit, buy the lottery ticket, come back home, be like, the fuck alone. And then go to work and do what they pay their bills. It's not that difficult. Anyway, so I believe I'm gonna stop it here. Well, I want to stop at 113. Let me give a little more astrology in regards to the situation. Well, in regards to the Hillary Clinton situation. Pause. Okay, so let me get to the astrology in regards to the whatever the scandal that's about to break in regards to the Clintons. So currently it is March the 1st. No, it's the 2nd, 2026. The next big dates in regards to Hillary Clinton is going to be on March the 14th, 2026, and that's when her progressive will oppose her natal Pluto. The last time this happened was on December 4th, 1998. This is 15 days before Bill Clinton's impeachment. So the next day on March the 15th, 2026, transit retrograde Mercury will conjoin transit Mars. And every time this has happened so far, this happened 3 times so far, but it dealt with explosive information in regards to Epstein, Virginia Frey, Prince Andrew, and internet outages. So around March 15, 2026, we should expect a similar events. So, like I said, the astrology for in regards to this upcoming Bill Clinton scandal, it should reach a climax in around May the 4th, 2026, and also Donald Trump his circle should be happy about something, but all the while, Bill Clinton's circle and his friends and circles and relationships and situations, they'll be upset about something. And this is the whole month of May. But the scandal seemingly does not end until July the 20th, 2026 in regard to Bill Clinton. And that's when his progressed moon will quincunx his natal moon. And the last time this happened was the end of Bill Clinton's 1998/1999 impeachment. And it happened on February 9th, 1999. But again, also there'll be a shocking event around August 9th, 2026 regarding Bill Clinton. And that's when his progressed moon will sextile progress Uranus. It's a shocking event. And what it makes you think about is Danny Williams Clinton, who is a black man again, who claims to be Bill Clinton's black biological son. Keep in mind that Danny Williams Clinton is from Little Rock, Arkansas, and if you think about Little Rock, Arkansas, you think about the Little Rock Nine, and that's that dealt with 9 black children or 9 black men, 9 black I'll just say children or people that were trying to go to school in Little Rock, Arkansas, but were blocked by the governor. And so President D. Eisenhower, he enacted the Insurrection Act, and which allowed those 9 people to go to school and college. And so my point was that pretty much Little Rock, Arkansas was one of the it did secede from the Union, but it was one of the slave states as well, I believe. And they did not want black people to secede. And so I think Bill Clinton became governor of that state years later. Um, and so if it came out that Bill Clinton had a black biological son, it would have probably destroyed his image, which the astrologer showed that it should have been destroyed around 1985, December 5th, 1985. How it wasn't really November. However, for some reason it didn't. But the astrologer shows that something big happened around November 10th, 1985, and December 5th, 1985, and on December 7th, 1985, that's when Danny Williams Clinton was born, who is a black man who claims to be Bill Clinton's biological son. And weirdly enough, is that for Bill Clinton, his progressed retrograde Uranus, it conjoined his natal Uranus on October the 11th, 2025. And this is the same day that Donald Trump was snubbed in regards to getting the Nobel Peace Prize. But it was also around the same day that Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, they skipped out on their depositions. And also October 14th, 2025 was Charlie Kirk's birthday. But not only that, it was also George Floyd's birthday, who was a black man who was killed as well. What else? I'm missing something. Oh, but Danny Williams Clinton, he released a book called The Forgotten Son on, I believe, November the 6th, 2025. And I believe November the 8th, 2025. And again, Danny Williams Clinton he's a black man that claims to be Bill Clinton's biological son. So there's so much drama that's tied with Bill Clinton. I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, so I think I want to end it here. Right? Yeah. Hopefully, who knows, this video blows up or whatever. I'm having some weird astrology that's going on in my chart right now, so who knows? Maybe I really will end up getting like what, $13 million, a 13-ounce solid gold medal, a 13-ounce solid gold medal of freedom from Donald Trump, and get Jennifer Boozer's shop Canada back open in Alabama. Who knows? And maybe Chad Chig Martin could become the governor of Alabama. Who knows? Because the astrology shows that on November the 4th, 2026, I get lucky. And so who knows? I might be Chad Chig Martin's lucky charm. Anyway, bye for now.